So this next story made me laugh so hard, you have no idea. News broke the other night that Donald Trump spoke to his advisors and told them that he's interested in purchasing Greenland. Listen, that's such a far-fetched story, I almost didn't believe it at first. And I was like, come on, this can't be true. There's no way this is true. Well, come to find out, his advisors have verified it. And they're like, yep, he did that. He did that. He was casually musing about purchasing Greenland. Now, let me go to The Guardian here. Here's what they say. Donald Trump has confirmed he is considering an attempt to buy Greenland for strategic reasons. Though he said the idea is not number one on the burner, Trump's interest reported earlier this week was greeted internationally with widespread hilarity, but with indignation in Greenland and Denmark. The government of the semi-autonomous Danish territory insisted it was not for sale. The Danish prime minister called any discussion of a sale absurd. Nonetheless, on Sunday, White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow first confirmed the story in an interview before Trump spoke to reporters as he left New Jersey to return from vacation to Washington, saying the concept came up and he was, quote, looking at it. The man who runs the notoriously leaky White House also questioned how the idea found its way to the press. Trump sought to tie the idea of a U.S. purchase of the world's largest island, not including Australia, to his own area of professional expertise, saying it would be essentially a large real estate deal. You cannot make this stuff up. If a comedian in, a parody sketch show did this segment, did a joke about Trump wanting to buy Greenland, everybody would go, no, too far. That's just too much. He wouldn't do something. I mean, even for Trump, that's insane. Not only did he do it, he was just casually musing about it, as if it's not the most insane thing you've ever heard in your life. I like how he said, we're looking at it. We're looking at it. We're looking at doing a deal with Greenland very strongly. We're very strongly looking at it. It would essentially be a large real estate deal, which I know I'm tremendous at. I'm unbelievable at, believe me. Oh, man, it's embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. I said it before. I feel bad about it from time to time, but the reality is he's, without even trying, he's one of the funniest people on the planet, Donald Trump. It makes me feel bad sometimes because he actually gives me some genuine belly laughs. Now, you would think that even for Trump's biggest sycophants, they'd know, all right, let's reel it in just a little bit here. Just a little bit. Don't follow Trump down that path of madness. Pump the brakes a little bit and let everybody know we still got our brains in our heads. But no. So there were multiple segments out there on Fox News of them entertaining this idea and taking it seriously. I have one for you here. Watch.
The Arctic is at the forefront of opportunity and abundance. It houses 13% of the world's undiscovered oil, 30% of its undiscovered gas, and an abundance of uranium, rare earth minerals, gold, diamonds, and millions of square miles of untapped resources.
So, Michael, how serious do you think this idea might be?
It's quite serious, actually. I mean, that's the thing about land, is that God isn't making any more of it, so it's usually a good investment. Real estate has paid off well for the United States. The Louisiana Purchase, the annexation of Texas, California, obviously Alaska. And another point that Secretary of State Pompeo pointed out is that if the direst warnings about global warming do come true, then you could be looking at new trading routes that are being opened up through the Arctic. And this could be, in his words, the Suez or the Panama Canal of the 21st century. So I do think it's a serious thing to mention. Obviously, we tried to buy it in 1946 for $100 million. The price might be going up, but I don't think it's totally off of the table. And from a geostrategic point of view, I think it's totally worth bringing up. To the question of whether or not Donald Trump is merely distracting, it is true that Donald Trump is the king of controlling the media narrative, but he has this knack of bringing up actually serious concepts. And because he is the one who's bringing it up, people dismiss it out of hand. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think we should look forward to it. If Denmark says it's not for sale, that seems to me like the beginning of a real negotiation. Perhaps we will actually see the art of the deal.
Your Honor, I rest my case. If you can't bring yourself in this instance to be like, you know what, he's being a little ridiculous, then you're just not an honest actor. You're working backwards from your conclusion, and your conclusion is daddy can do no wrong. Listen, on this show, we're open, we're honest, we're upfront, we tell you. We love Bernie Sanders, love him. Does that mean I've never had a critical word ever for Bernie Sanders? Are you kidding me? I went after him when he made comments against BDS. Why? Because I care more about the actual issues and the substance than I care about, falling in line and being a little authoritarian goon where I shut off my brain and follow my dear leader. It's called being intellectually honest and actually having an ideology and putting your principles and policies above politicians. Now, it just so happens to be the case I agree with Bernie 95% of the time, 98% of the time, thereabouts. So most of the time, I'm giving him credit. But it all comes from a genuine place. Whereas this is like, you cannot bring yourself to say this is a silly idea. He was musing about buying Greenland, and they were like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and we're laughing at you. And they're like, that sounds to me like the beginning of a serious negotiation, and we're going to see the art of the deal. You're embarrassing, man. He thinks he's like king businessman. He's bankrupted 6 of his companies. He couldn't make a casino profitable, where they basically just go and hand you money. His daddy had to bail him out and walk in there and buy millions of dollars in chips and then walk out. So his business record is abysmal, and they're pretending like his business record is glorious and wonderful. Again, don't take my word for it. You go and you read about Trump's business record on your own. But they're pretending like his business record is awesome and his art of the deal. We could see the art of the deal here. It'll be glorious! Yes, Donald Trump is so glorious and right about everything. Yes. And the other thing I just can't get over, this is a side point, but the Daily Wire third stringer, who's that guy who you just heard talking right there, he's even when he talks, he sounds fake as fuck. He does the fake announcer. Well, actually, I think Donald Trump is doing a wonderful thing here by looking at this deal, and he has a way of making people pretend serious ideas are not serious simply when he pursues it. You know when I gave Trump credit? When he said we're done with TPP. You want to know why? Because I don't have a fucking cinder block where my brain is supposed to be. So, again, principles, policies, specifics. I'll come out here and I'll say, when he does something decent, I'll say it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. People, are there some, maybe tiny sliver of my audience who will go, I don't like that. How could you say that? Yeah, maybe, but I don't care. I'll tell the truth. Whereas again, it's the defense squad. It's just go out there, act like, no, there's nothing to see here. Everything's totally fine. Normal president musing about a normal thing. He's very strongly looking in a deal to buy Greenland. Unbelievable. And it's totally cool. It's totally normal. And we'll see the art of the deal maybe. This will be great. They said they don't want to do it and that this is absurd, but that seems like the beginning of a good negotiation. Imagine a press conference where Trump's out there and he's like, I just want everybody to know we've successfully begun negotiations to buy Greenland. What the fuck? These are the same people, for the record, who hate the idea of Puerto Rico statehood. They hate Puerto Rico statehood, but you want to buy Greenland and make it part of the United States? What? Just total hacks. Total hacks.